Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this world of wonder and drama. Today we will unveil a little-known tale. Who the heck are you spouting nonsense? How would you even have evidence? Let's see if you can find the hidden proof. For whom? Just to mess around? You're really reaching here. Little Mustache was beating Fat Guy like a pie. Otter, but surprisingly, Fat Guy didn't spill. Just then, Little Mustache received a boss call talk about going viral. You absolute jerk. How could you be such a jerk? So jerky. I'm really going crazy here. Turns out Fat Guy's home was live streaming. The footage of the officer's actions blew up online. Talk about stepping on a landmine. Subtitle: Little Mustache was officially suspended. Meanwhile, Egg Dude had cleverly gone undercover at the seafood supermarket. Here he met a girl who made his heart race. They seemed to be drawn to each other but wouldn't share their pasts if only the customers knew their secrets. She looked like she was on a covert mission rather than working. Too bad she had lousy luck. This troubled Little Mustache. Worked and worked. Little Mustache's mood grew more tangled, like solving a Rubik's Cube blind. Subtitles: Just work again. He only wanted her, but loved the jerk who dumped him and burned her home. What a disaster. When Egg Dude heard the news, he was just as baffled. Am I the angel of death? Then he noticed a suspicious man fixated on him. Egg Dude sensed danger and bolted, only to bump into the police. What a comedy of errors. He almost tripped over himself. Thankfully, he dodged the weirdo, but Little Mustache was embroiled in yet another twist. Talk about a roller coaster ride. After some questions, the police realized Egg Dude actually worked here. Who knew he was so slick? The police officers voiced their dissatisfaction with the suspended officer, questioning why he dared to stir up trouble on their territory. Was it as though justice came with specific job assignments? When his peers saw how embarrassing the situation was, they immediately asked him to leave, as any explanation would be futile. Meanwhile, the weirdo guy found the scumbag. It turns out they are actually of the same kind. Weirdo Dude was actually a self-proclaimed vigilante, but his methods were, well, extreme. What a real head-scratcher. Weirdo Dude was going out of his way to eliminate his rivals, while Little Mustache found Egg Dude's place, which had turned into a graveyard of fire extinguishers. It seemed like all traces of Egg Dude had been scrubbed away, and meanwhile, his colleagues thought the jerk's style was a bit off, didn't see the bomb coming. In the next moment, his colleague was sent flying. This was more outrageous than a movie scene. Police quickly found the fire extinguisher vandal, but Cully's motive was so ludicrous it was laughable. He was just mad. Egg Dude rolled his eyes at him in an elevator. Now the police were completely stumped. Murderer was the jerk. Evidence was destroyed by Curly, and Egg Dude was on the lam. What a bizarre case. At this moment, Weirdo Dude had found the little fat guy, who used to be his partner, but he soon realized there was nothing good about the weirdo. This went completely against the ideals of their Justice League. Little fat guy decisively distanced himself from the weirdo. Now that's what I call a hero. But the weirdo simply couldn't accept it. Just a short while ago, little fat guy hailed him as a hero of the era, yet now he's become the complete opposite. His rival, truly an unprecedented twist of fate. But little fat guy was still loyal, refusing to tell where Egg Dude was hiding, only to end up captured by the weirdo. Little fat guy was taken to the police station for questioning. He reported everything he gathered about the weirdo to Officer South. What a clever little guy. At this moment, the eccentric guy was still clinging steadfastly to his distorted concept of justice, resembling a justice-obsessed knight among the villains. He captured the arrogant thug while the girl begged for mercy. Too bad her pleas were in vain. After some patient guidance, he decided to take out the girl too, which immediately made headlines. Little did he know the girl was a rich heiress. Pressured by the backlash, the chief immediately offered Officer South a promotion. Officer Dong learned the scoop on a weirdo from little fat guy and got way too excited about wanting to have a chat. Great idea. To his surprise, the weirdo beamed at Officer Dong like he saw his long-lost dad. What a twisted sense of love. The weirdo thought Officer Dong could be his protege and even wanted him to have superpowers. Seriously, is this laughable or tragic? Unfortunately, Officer Don was no match and ended up getting pinned to the floor. This scene reminded everyone of a slapstick comedy. At this crucial moment, Officer Handsome arrived just in time to lend a hand, and Little Fat Guy's fan showed up right on cue. An intense battle of wits and courage was about to unfold. At this very moment, the entire scene had descended into complete disarray. It emerged that the widow's adversary was far from being an ordinary person, but rather an utterly despicable and heinous scumbag. This despicable villain had even killed his own granddaughter, and the weirdo saw it as common. What a deep philosophical dilemma. While the weirdo calmly prepared to flex his forensic skills, he somehow managed to evade capture. How is that even fair? However, the authorities did not recognize that he was a dangerous individual and even disregarded him. This is truly inviting disaster. Now both were completely flabbergasted, and to make matters worse, relatives realized Little Fat Guy was a killer. Was a shocker that left whole families swooning. Meanwhile, the weirdo wasn't feeling down. Instead, he was busy plotting his next escape. But unfortunately, he was caught by the police anyway. What a cruel twist of fate. At this very moment, the duo was planning another escape attempt when suddenly, Little Fat Guy's ingenious new plan was unveiled. He can sneak out of the country, but poor Little Fat Guy's plans went up in smoke as the devious weirdo was hot on their trail. During this, he didn't share the weirdo's location with Officer Don, trying to act subtly, but Egg Dude had already set a tracker on Little Fat Guy's phone. To everyone's surprise, Little Fat Guy turned himself in, hoping to catch the weirdo. Talk about a noble move. During this time, he revealed all the backgrounds of those who had been killed by Egg Dude previously. It's all about strategic planning. Even the underhanded ones deserve a strategy. Meanwhile, Curly warned Little Fat Guy not to cross the line. Too funny. But Little Fat Guy shot back, accusing Curly of abusing his power.